Today's episode of the Outline Podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering the listeners of this podcast one free audiobook and 30 days free. You can even keep the book after you cancel your membership. You can redeem this offer by going to www.audibletrial.com/outlinepod. Once again, that's www.audibletrial.com/outlinepod. Today's episode is also brought to you by the LGBT Arts and Culture Music Festival in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Memorial Day weekend, May 25th through 29th. Time is running out, you guys. Get your all-inclusive festival packages right now. Time's a ticking. It's going to be a great time. There's going to be an LGBT film fest, live concert performances, all-white Vanguard Awards Gala. You get to meet authors. There's going to be a networking social, celebrity karaoke, and so much more. Tamar Braxton, Sean T, James Wright Chanel, Tweet, Monifa, and the list is getting longer and longer. Register now by going to www.lgbtmusicfest.com. Once again, that's www.lgbtmusicfest.com. You can also call 404-756-8433. Let them know Kevin Dwayne of the Outline Podcast sent you. Let's start the show.
Yeah. The Outline with Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne. Yeah. The Outline. With Kevin Dwayne. The Outline. With Kevin Dwayne. This is the Outline with Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne with Kevin Dwayne.
Yo, what's up? This is the Outline Podcast, and I'm your host, Kevin Dwayne. Okay, so it's my belief that everyone lies a little bit. Like, it's inescapable. Yes, there are people who tell more truth than others, but everyone tells a little lie here and there, whether you lie to avoid confrontation, lie to get out of work, or just little tiny lies. But you ever just meet someone where everything that comes out of their mouth, or at least 98% of the time, is a fucking lie, and you know it's a lie? And it's sad because they know that you know it's a fucking lie, but they still lie so goddamn much. There was this guy that I don't really talk to anymore, but we used to talk, and I knew he was lying because everything he would say was on some grand shit. Like, everything was just explosive, everything was amazing, everything was grandeur, everything was just on 100, but 100 wasn't what he presented himself as. Like, this nigga was like borrowing his uncle's car, and that car was broke down as fuck. He was homeless. He was living like house to house, but it seems like all his activities were just the grandest shit. But it got down to like the stupidest things. Like, oh yeah, well, you know, I only go to this one McDonald's every morning to get my coffee because it's like the best McDonald's in the county. Like, they got all these awards. Like, nigga, how the fuck do you know? Like, who the fuck is going through a drive-through and surveying where the fuck the fast food location is ranking in the region or the county or whatever? Who the fuck does that with your lying ass? Like, it's always some shit like that. Hey, you want to hang out tonight? Nah, I ain't gonna be able to hang out tonight. I'm going to this little art gala with my homegirl. You know, we got a little VIP access. There's gonna be, you know, bottle service and shit. We're gonna have a little, you know, champagne and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, just volunteering lies and shit like that. The best one was, we were chilling and he was talking about, this weekend, you know, I'm heading out to Vegas. One of my friends, they own all these properties and shit. We about to take a private jet, and, you know, we're gonna get there in no time. It's like the fastest fucking jet that they got. And I'm like, okay, but you're homeless though, nigga. Like, your friend that owns all these properties can hook you up on a flight. but they can't hook you up with Elise, nigga? Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Just lying. Just lying. Why do y'all do that? But I get it. Sometimes life isn't what we want it to be, and we have to present this image. Well, we don't have to. We choose to present this image instead of what is real. I'm struggling. I need some help. I need some guidance. My life isn't where I want it to be, but I am working towards it. But I'm not about to sit here and lie, especially when motherfuckers know you're lying to them. Like, whatever. But that's that. Hope you guys are enjoying your week. It is things are pretty I guess light in pop culture and entertainment. Nothing really stood out to me like major except first and foremost, rest in peace to Winnie Mandela. Another legend is gone after a very courageous and inspiring life, a long life lived of, and I mean, just the history. It's just crazy as we get older. These iconic figures are just leaving this earth, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So rest in peace. Positive vibe to her family and all those who who were connected to her. And yeah, that's that. And now to the fuck shit. Number one, positive, Cardi B. I just saw the Bartier Cardi video before recording this podcast. It was cute, very cute. You can see the budget stepped up from Bodak Yellow. Very cute video, very cute concept. All I know is she had naked men in it. Well, it was more or less like men in their drawers, and it seemed like they were all kind of like, I only watched the video once, so I might be wrong, but it seems like they were kind of under mind control. They all had a Cardi B tattoo on their neck, and they all had on these tight spandex shorts with all type of bulge and booty and shit. I'm like, okay, I'm here for this, Cardi. I appreciate you. Her album is actually coming out this Friday, Invasion of Privacy. She released a song called Be Careful last week. The song itself, lyrically, I like it. Because I feel like she's speaking on her relationship with Offset. It sounds like she's saying like, listen, like, nigga, you doing a lot of foul ass shit, but nigga, I'm the one out here right now. You don't want to fuck this up. And I dig it. It was her don't hurt yourself moment. You know, she was having a lemonade moment with Be Careful. But I don't know. Something about the delivery of the song is kind of Fisher Price to me. I don't know. It just seems real childish, but the lyrics, I get it. I feel her on that level, but just the song itself, I'm just like, I like it because it's you, but I want to hear the rest of the album. I want to hear what else you're giving, because that song itself is just like, it's whatever to me. But she's going to be on SNL with Chadwick Boseman this weekend. That is about to be a hype ass episode. Apparently it's buzzing that it's going to be hella funny. There's going to be hella like skits and things between the two, and she's gonna be performing twice, and it's just, I'm really happy for her glow up. And on Monday, she's going to be the first ever co-host of the Jimmy Fallon show. Like, Cardi is winning, and I like it, as I said before, because it goes against people and their crazy ass respectability politics. Like, it's time we stop using this shit as a way to control people. You have to be a certain way to be on television or be wealthy or to be successful. No, just be yourself, be your authentic self, and she represents that. So shout out to Cardi B. I feel like I know her, but I'm proud of her. I'm happy for her, and I wish her the best, and I can't wait to hear Invasion of Privacy on Friday. I hope there's some bops that I can work out to, because let me tell y'all, these workouts have been so lit. I feel like, hell, I feel like my brother. If you guys don't know, my brother is a personal trainer, and he's bodied. Like, hella six pack, like deep ass six pack, big ass arms, cut up. Like, he's always been that way. And I'm starting to feel like him, like out here, like, nigga, I'm in the gym too. Like, this morning I did like my cardio. I was doing like a HIIT training where you sprint as fast as fuck and then you walk for a little bit. And then after that, I did some jump ropes with some planks. I was out here rocky, nigga. I was rocky. And I was like, damn, I'm really doing it in the gym. Lifting 3 times a week, doing my full body workouts, progressing, moving up in the stacks. I'm like, I'm out here doing it, and I'm getting results. That's the best thing. Like, I'm working hard as fuck, but I'm getting a return on my workouts, and I'm just dedicated right now. So I'm always looking for a good song to add to the playlist so I can just, hammer out these sets and get these reps going. So that's where I'm at with that. And then the only other thing that popped up in recent news was the thing with Fabulous and Emily. There was a video that leaked. I think TMZ leaked it, and it was him pretty much threatening her, and also her father talking about he had a gun and he had a bullet with his name on it. And then Emily, this is alleged that he's been abusing her for years. Like she lost 2 teeth or some shit from him punching her and shit like that. And I'm never surprised by things like this because, especially with celebrities, well, not even celebrities, with men in general, I think the best way to figure out my opinion is to read Very Smart Brothers this week. Damon Young wrote a piece, and I completely agree with him. It's not so much it's celebrities, it's just men in general. We live in a time period where things are being exposed now. And we're seeing things for what they are. But this shit has been going on since the beginning of time. Like domestic abuse is nothing new. But I know with celebrities, there's this extra protection because people feel like because they have talent, they can get away with shit. You know, we see it with Bill Cosby. We see it with R. Kelly. We see it with Chris Brown. We see it with now Fabulous. We see it with all these people who have done so many foul things to women, black women, women in general, Nate Parker, whatever. And because of talent and because of our love for them, we give them this pass, and we start trying to victim blame and try to find ways around it. And it's silly, man. It's absolutely silly. And nah, it's trash. I really hope that they separate. I really hope that she doesn't go back to him. I really hope that relationship is done, and I hope he gets whatever help he needs. But I know that shit is so deeply ingrained. I was watching a Hot 97 interview, not even an interview. It was like Ebro and Peter, and they were just talking about when the headline came through. But they were just sharing their stories of, growing up. And Ebro was saying he witnessed that. And he's like, he would never put his hands on his wife. But he has times where when anger goes up, and he's like, listen, don't yell at me. I'm not going to yell at you. Let's be calm. Because in his mind, he's like, listen, I came from that. I would never do that, but I never even want to be put in a predicament where you could even pull that type of activity out of me. So let's just not go there. And I was like, damn, that's so crazy. But domestic abuse is very common. I saw the shit growing up, not in my personal household, but I have seen people in my family and shit like that, like, cousins and shit like that, fighting each other and stuff like that. And it's normalized. It is fucking normalized. And we're in a time now where it's being exposed. We're showing it and saying this isn't right. This is not normal behavior, but it takes these stories. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people who are defending Fabulous because of his talent, they've seen the shit too. And honestly, they probably participate in the same shit, but they just don't value it as bad, which drives me crazy. How do you put your hands on someone and think that's okay? It's not okay. It's never okay. So it's another story, and I really feel bad for Emily because I remember her on Love and Hip Hop. I remember her loving this man so much and leaving him and then going back to him and just wanting him to really choose her and be with her. She has kids by him. He won't marry her. I don't even know if that's even what she wants, but it's just, she needs to get out. Like, there's nothing worse than an abusive man, but an abusive man who is also famous. Nah, that doesn't go. Speaking of that, I thought I didn't have something else. Here's something else. I saw on YouTube some clips from Ayanla Fix My Life with Trina Braxton on it. That was interesting because Gabe pretty much revealed that Trina was abusive to him, mentally, verbally abusive. And it was an interesting kind of revelation because I think because of the image of the Braxtons, we automatically thought Gabe was trash because he cheated, which, I mean, yes, cheating is wrong. We've been over that over and over again. Cheating is wrong. But Gabe on the show was kind of villainized. It was like, oh, Gabe ain't shit. He's a cheater. He's trash. He's that. But then Ayanla, which I'm not a big fan of Ayanla anymore. I feel like she's condescending and she's rude to her guests on the show, like rude as fuck. And I can't rock with it. That's why I stopped watching it. But I was able to stomach this episode on YouTube. Now, she was able to pull that out of Gabe, like, wait a minute, you got some stuff too. And it came out that, he was abused as a child, and he started dating Trina and married her because she represented something that he was familiar with. And that opened up a whole nother kind of story. Like, people have shit, man, that they're not dealing with and that they never uncover. And sometimes you just got to talk it through. So, I mean, I commend Ayanna for that. I don't like her approach. I think it's trash. I think people should just go to therapy and find someone who's just going to be objective and not say statements where they're calling you out and being condescending and laughing at you. Because she does this thing where she'll ask people questions and they'll answer and she'll laugh at them like, and it's so condescending. It makes my blood boil. Like, I would never go on that woman's show. And I used to love Ayanna. I love her books. I like her intentions, but lately in the last couple of seasons, she's condescending as fuck and it's tired, it's whack, and it's not progressive at all. Like, she's just trying to piss people off for ratings. Like, you're not gonna insult me for ratings. Fuck all of that. Just go to a therapist. They'll sit there, they'll talk you through it, and they won't insult you. They won't be condescending. They're trained and have all of the merits to do that, rather than, just being an Oprah's book club. And I guess that is shade, but saw that. But it was an interesting kind of take on the abuse from woman to man. Cause I know a lot of verbally abusive women. I grew up with a lot of them. Like, it's how they attack. It's always below the belt. It's always hard. It's always the rudest thing you could say. It always challenges, your existence, and they'll cut you deep if you let them. So that is that. Well, that's all I got for pop culture, but be right back after this quick message. Hey guys, hope you are enjoying this episode of the Outline Podcast. This show is brought to you by Sudio. Sudio wants to revolutionize the way people see headphones as not just a tech device, but also an accessory. Currently, the headphones market can offer you one of two things: style or tech. Fashionable headphones tend to lack the proper sound quality, and high-tech variations are bulky and not design-oriented. Sudio wants to bridge that gap. Last week, I received the Regent, which is the premium on-ear model. It has impeccable clarity and it has 24 plus hours of active battery life. I've only charged these earphones once. I have not charged them again since last week, and it's been a full week. I love them, to be honest with you, and this is not just because it's a sponsor. This is the truth. I am an audio purist, you guys. You guys know this. I've tried many different headphones. One thing I don't like for headphones to have is a lot of bass and no clarity in anything else. I like to hear the backgrounds. I'm a Brandy fan. I'm a Beyonce fan. I like Shaka. I like Anita. I like to hear the instruments. I like to hear those backgrounds. I want to hear the little minor tunes. I want to hear all of that. And with these headphones, I was able to hear all of these elements, even new elements. The latest album I've been playing lately is Chloe and Halle. The Kids Are All Right. That album's amazing. You should check it out. This is not a plug for them, but still, go listen to it. I played that using the Sudio headphones. So good. So good. They layer their vocals so much, and there's so many different levels that you can hear with these headphones, even the instruments and just the balancing and everything. Another thing that I found was great was I could turn my EQs off on Apple Music. I have to change the EQs so I can hear it the way I want to hear it. These headphones have it where you can listen to it how it was made. You can turn the EQs off and it sounds beautiful. So I am such a fan of the Regent model. They have several other models you can check out as well. And since you're a listener of the Outline Podcast, you can get 15% off by using the discount code THEOUTLINE in checkout. So go to sudio.com and get you a pair because they're amazing. I love them, and I may have to order another pair myself. So that's that. Let's get back to the show. Lately, I've noticed an increase in the notion that masculinity is under attack, and the word masculine is being used as a negative thing. Apparently, those that challenge the behaviors of hypermasculinity are trying to make the whole world soft, or for lack of a better word. While I respect the experience and perspective of some who hold this view, I just can't rock with it. Anytime the majority, be it white people, men, or others with vast privilege, are called to accountability for their actions or challenged on offering equality to those who are oppressed or repressed, it is ignorantly seen as an attack or insulting the majority or trying to change tradition or whatever other ignorant bullshit that people say when these things occur. And I feel like this is intelligently dishonest and it ignores the true merit for the plea to change things as they are. This is my opinion, but masculinity isn't in danger and isn't going anywhere anytime soon. What is in danger are the toxic behaviors that cause others to be abused, both physically and mentally. It's still very much a man's world, so no one is going to attack you for being stereotypical in your actions or wherever the fuck you're doing. We do still live in a world that despises femininity. Women are being abused, paid unfairly, and often reduced to sexual possessions. Gay and trans people are constantly having their rights on the chopping block and being killed without even a blink of an eye. So no one really cares that you want to do push-ups all day, watch football, mac bitches, or piss in public, bro. Like, no one cares about that. No one's trying to take that away from you. What we do care about is how you treat women, gay and trans people, and even other men who don't posture in the way you deem acceptable as masculine enough, because they're a part of this equation as well, you know? And this isn't limited to straight men either. As we know, gay men, our online profiles are filled with statements like no fats, no femmes, and I need someone who acts like a man and don't be no bitch. The crazy thing is, They failed to realize that the operative word in that statement, it says someone who acts like a man. It's fucking acting. That means it's not even real. It's acting. It's gotten to the point that people aren't natural. They're just not natural in their dispositions. Many are putting on a show because that's what they feel will be approved by the masses. But this is silly because we know the goalposts for masculinity and femininity are often adjusted and moved to suit the needs of the surveyor. It's just time that people start having honest conversations about their issues with femininity. And this includes myself. Interesting tidbit about me, and I was talking to someone about this recently, and I let them know, and I'm going to be transparent here. For the longest time, I would be triggered by the word cis, S-I-S. I hate it. I hate it. Lots of gay men call each other cis, and it drives me fucking insane. I don't know what it is about that word, but I just hate being called cis. I hate it, hate it, hate it. Funny thing is, me and my friend call each other girl and bitch and all that all the time. It's how we talk, but it's also a camaraderie between us. But none of us call each other cis. It's something about cis that sounds so condescending to me. And I only hear people say cis when they're insulting you, where it's like, oh, calm down, sis. Oh, get out your feelings, sis. Oh, it's no shade, sis. It makes me cringe, and I'm still working through that. But I had to challenge myself, though, because I'm like, why is it that this word bothers me so much? Is there something about the feminine aspect of it that I need to work through? Is there an issue that I have with femininity that's causing me to act this way? But then I was like, well, maybe it's just that word. Because like I said, me and my friends will say, oh girl, oh child, oh bitch, like whatever, our close friends. I do know I don't like people who aren't friends with me calling me anything but my name, because we're not friends. So why exactly are you speaking to me in that way? It's just too comfortable, I think. You shouldn't be that comfortable to speak to me that way. But I had to really work through that and figure that out. And I think more people need to have these conversations with themselves and say like, okay, what is it about femininity that bothers me so much? Like, why do I feel this way? Now, I know a lot of it starts with childhood. I, a man, know how much growing up male is weighted heavily on any aversion to anything deemed feminine. That's a girl color. You can't wear that. That's for girls. Put that down. That's a girl song. Stop singing along to that part. Sing the man's part. You don't want to be a girl, do you? These are all statements I heard over and over and over again growing up. And the crazy thing is, it was both women and men who supported these toxic ass statements. In a way, everyone was in agreement that women weren't valued. Like there were so many times I heard my sisters and my girl cousins and my friends who were girls saying, "Oh, I can't mess with these other females. I can't be friends with other girls. You know how these girls are. Oh, I can't stand no bitching ass girls. Oh, I can't stand these bitches. This is why I have dudes as friends." It was almost like a self-hating kind of mentality. They were deemed to say like, "Okay, women aren't valued. So therefore, I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be friends with them. I'd rather be friends with guys." It's a weird ass brainwashing that happens to a lot of us as kids. It's brainwashing at its finest. Somewhere in our childhoods, boys are raised to be men. Men, and I mean this by I'm putting up my air quotes. Men, I'm talking about stereotypes. Wear blue, grunt, halfway wash ass, do stupid shit, be ignorant, be lazy, be a man and let women do this. So boys are raised to be men and girls are raised to show themselves approved to be with these men. It's not about being individual, it's about being the best woman you can be so that you can get chose. Like, what? How does that even work? Like, and that is a mentality that a lot of people have experienced. And I think we still walk around with these same thoughts as adults. Like a lot of us are still processing shit that happened to us as children. But we have to really see what it is that we have against femininity and why we're so quick to be like, no, I ain't feminine. No. Like, why do we hate? I don't want to say why do we hate women so much, but that's what it comes down to. Like, God, why is it that why is value seen in masculinity but not in femininity? I feel like there needs to be a balance in the two. And I truly believe that it's our duty to seek out that balance. I think the reason it takes a village to raise a child is because we should be exposed to different energies, both masculine and feminine. This is beyond gender. We need both energies to survive this life. There are times where men and women need to show aggression and strength. There are times where men and women need to show compassion, be understanding, and submit to someone else. It doesn't have to be another man, it doesn't have to be another woman, but there's times we have to be humble and fall back. And that has nothing to do with what goes on between your legs. It has nothing to do with your genitals at all. It's just life. And I think the best way to navigate this life is to have a mixture of the two. There are times when you will have to be hard. There are times when you will have to be soft. And it has nothing to do with gender. It's balance. This is why we need multiple people in our lives to show us those energies. It has nothing to do with gay or straight or whatever you want to identify as, because every person will have a time where they have to utilize both parts of themselves. And it's unhealthy to be one way and not the other because you're not in balance. You're simply not in balance. So I, for one, don't like hyper anything. And what I mean by this is when it comes to dating, for example, I'm repelled by hyper masculine, super aggressive alpha men. That shit turns me off because I too am a man and I'm not going to be completely controlled by someone else, but I also can submit as well. You know what I mean? Like it's a balance of it. I don't like it because it lets me know that you have an issue with femininity. You have an issue with submission. You have an issue with humility. You can't be in control 100% of the time. You can't be a leader 100% of the time. There is a time in all of our lives where we have to switch up and move in different directions. So that turns me off. But on the flip side, I'm not a big fan of over-the-top flamboyant guys either. And why I don't like either side is because it doesn't seem authentic. It shows imbalance. I like men who fall in the middle. They live as they see fit, but they utilize both energies. That is sexy as fuck to me. And it's not just in dating too. Even with my friends, I like balanced friends. I like people who understand. I like friends who aren't afraid to, go out and play basketball, whatever the fuck they want to do. But then also, if Beyonce comes on, so fucking be it. It's not a problem. Be you. It has nothing to do with your sexuality. It has nothing to do with anything. It's how you choose to express yourself. Like the women in my life, they're so balanced. The girls that have been on this podcast, Christina Mwabi, Jasmine hasn't been on the podcast. I'm looking to get her on here soon. But they're super balanced to me. Shout out to them. Like they do for themselves. They know they're more than possessions to men, but they also love their men. They all can cook and clean, but they don't do it because they feel they have to. They do it because they love to, and they do it because they feel the people in their life deserve it. It's not out of obligation. It's not because they're women. It's just an act of love, and it's a strength for them. But on the flip side of that, they are the best professional people you'll ever meet, bar none. Business owners, and they know how to get this money, know how to take care of the household. Literally, they're what is it? They're buying the bacon, they're bringing home the bacon, they're cooking the bacon, they're putting it on their table, and you can just pull up a seat. Like, they own all aspects, and that's balance. It's not a matter of that. None of them are stay-at-home women. They all go out and get their money, and half the time, hell, I think all of them make more than their partners and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's balance. It's not based on this bullshit about masculinity and femininity. None of us should be one way or the other. It's about balance. And I don't understand why people feel there's an attack on masculinity, because we're just trying to show more of that balance. We're just saying, hey, not every man is going to be this Tim the Two-Man Taylor, Kobe Bryant ass, Terry Crews ass nigga. Like, not every guy is going to be that way. There's a spectrum to all of it. And it's not an attack on masculinity. No one's attacking you wanting to present yourself in a certain way. What we are attacking is you using that privilege to treat other people like shit. The guy who wants to be like more Andre 3000 or Prince than T.I. or Tupac. You know, like, that's where the problem comes, is when you're using this masculinity, this hyper masculinity, to put other people down and try to put other people in their places and to oppress others. That's the behavior that we're attacking. We're not attacking masculinity. Masculinity is not in danger whatsoever. It never will be in danger. Masculinity is sexy, but femininity is sexy too. And that's all that is happening. That's the progression that we're trying to make. But all in all, it's about balance. There is a seat for everyone, both masculine and feminine. It's not about one existing over the other, but just balancing the two. And that's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Outline Podcast. Please share this with your friends. Tag me on Instagram, tag me on Twitter, use your favorite quotes using the hashtag The Outline Podcast. That's TheOutlinePodcast. Use the whole hashtag. I've seen some variations, but I want to make sure it's in the same one. Hashtag The Outline Podcast. Make sure you're rating it on Apple Podcasts. Let me use the right phrase for it. We're also on Stitcher, KevinDwayne.com, Google Play Music, TuneIn Radio, Vodal. You get a nice little list there. All right, come up. And SoundCloud, of course. But until then, I will talk to you all next week. Peace out.